All right, so what's going on, guys? It's Nando back with one more video, and here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a final review on the Huawei P20 Pro. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. I charge a full premium of $0 per month. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get more videos like these from small YouTubers like me. So you don't have to worry about biased opinions or whether I was sponsored anything, because I'm so far from ever being sponsored something. You're gonna hear the truth, what I like, what I dislike, and then you can go listen to other people. Okay, so P20 Pro, I've already done things I love. I've already done the things I hate or dislike. Because I don't hate anything about this phone. There's a couple quirks that I dislike about it, but those are so far outweighed by the things I actually love, not like. It's ridiculous. So first things first, let me just drop the price here because this phone is super expensive. If you're gonna buy new, you're gonna have to import it most likely from overseas. So you're looking at least $1,000, at least $1,000 US. Now, you may be able to find it for cheaper on places like Amazon, and then there's other places like eBay, used, things like that. I'm gonna link it in the description below to Amazon. Feel free to go there and check out what they have to offer. I wish Huawei wasn't so kind of suspect with the US government, if you will, or the Chinese government, the US government, because I really wish this phone was easy to just walk into a brick and mortar store and buy, like I have in the past with my Mate 10 Pro and so forth. So anywho, it's super expensive. I did get it from Amazon. I was able to buy it, not as expensive as it should have been, I guess, retail-wise. But anywho, I got it, I done an unboxing. That's a video that you guys can watch as well. Now, what do I love about this phone? I mean, there's things that I'm gonna mention right now that I didn't even mention in the things that I love about this phone video. Altogether, this phone is absolutely amazing. When you take the build quality, when you take the battery life, when you take the camera setup, when you take the biometrics, both facial recognition as well as fingerprint scanner, when you take the fact that you've got stereo sound, you've got from the earpiece in the front of the phone here, and you've also got from the bottom of the phone and one of the speakers at the bottom, okay? So you're getting real good sound. Now, what I like about the sound system on this phone is that it gets loud. When it comes to phones, I don't care so much personally whether it's a full sound or a rich sound or some good bass. I like it to get loud because often I'm not gonna sit here and use this phone for quality, right? I'm not gonna use my smartphones for, man, guys, check how good it sounds. If it sounds great, that's a perk. If it doesn't, I'm okay with it as long as it gets loud. And some devices honestly don't get loud enough for me. This phone does that. I absolutely love the notch situation. We all have our opinions on the notch. Thank you, Apple, for introducing that. That's a bit of sarcasm. However, I don't think that notches as a whole is that bad of a thing. Now, what Huawei's doing and what other Android manufacturers are doing is they're introducing a software version of the notch. You can actually go into the settings, you can go to the display, and then you have literally a section that's called notch. And when you click that notch, it asks you the default, or you can hide it. If you hide the notch, then software takes over and it actually goes ahead and makes the sides of the notch black out. So then your information, such as your time, whether your Bluetooth is turned on, things like that, battery percentage, moves off to the side of it. I'm okay with the notch. I'm not a notch hater. I understand what the notch is trying to accomplish overall. I wish that Apple wouldn't introduce such a fat notch for the sake of a fat notch. Now, before people come at me, I understand that they've got a really good facial recognition system, but when you look at the Huawei P20 Pro, you've got really good facial recognition as well. Sure, it might not be as good as Apple's in terms of how accurate is it, because here's what I've noticed the difference. So I know I'm kind of going all over the place, guys, but this isn't scripted. This is straight from how I feel about the device. As I think it, I spit it out for you guys. So real quick, when I use my iPhone X, I can use it in the dark. No problem, love that. Absolutely love that. However, the majority of the time, I'm not using my phone when it's pitch black darkness. That's when I'm out at night. If I get to be out at night that late, I'm usually not out that late with my phone in my hand. I'm doing something. If I'm using my phone, I'm usually using my phone in bed at night. Then I don't mind putting in a pin if it doesn't work. However, facial recognition works great on the iPhone X. With the P20 Pro, darkness is an issue. It's not gonna be as good, and if it's really dark outside, then forget it's not gonna work. But if there's any kind of light whatsoever, then the facial recognition system on the P20 Pro is gonna work. It's gonna work so fast. My favorite thing about this phone is that I can lift it up, it's gonna see my face, and it's going to unlock it like it just did now. I literally lift my phone up, it sees my face, boom, it's unlocked. Now, even faster than that is if I have my phone already up at my face and then I press the power button, then it doesn't even have that second of a delay of recognizing my face. Done. Like, you don't even see that split second of home screen, or I guess not even the home screen, before you unlock screen. So I absolutely love the facial recognition system of the P20 Pro, and there's other Android devices out there doing it right now, but out of all the devices I've used so far in 2018 that introduces facial recognition, I think the P20 Pro is at the top of the list. I haven't tried the OnePlus 6 yet. I plan on it. It might be another month or so, but when I was using the 5T, I really liked the facial recognition system there as well. And then, you know, Pixel 2 XL doesn't have a facial recognition system. So it really comes down to the P20 Pro versus the iPhone X, Galaxy S9, S9 Plus, things like that, Note 8. So I absolutely love that. Now, here's what I also love. The home screen, the front fingerprint scanner. I absolutely love it. Why? Because it is one of the fastest in the game, if not the fastest. It's super accurate. And I like that I don't have to lift my phone and then place it on the back. Now, I'm not hating on a rear placement fingerprint scanner. I just prefer it in the front because when it's laying on top of a table, as you guys can see here, it's already unlocked my device. Now, when I find that I'm using a phone that has a rear placement fingerprint scanner, I tend to find it that more often than not, it's not placed appropriately. What I mean by that is it too close to the camera lenses? Am I actually touching the camera lenses accidentally, just when I'm trying to unlock my phone quickly? We've run into that issue several times already with Samsung devices, the Note 8 in particular. Some are placed in, and I think, in a better place, which is further down, like Google, like HTC, like the OnePlus of the world. But if it's on the front of the phone, you don't run into that issue, period. But with that being said, if it's on the front of the phone, then you're still using space on the screen to place that fingerprint scanner. I do kind of wish that Huawei would have taken it a step further, taken the fingerprint scanner, slapped it on the back, and just completely knocked out that whole front face of the phone and just completely gotten rid of the bezels at the bottom. Because obviously, because the fingerprint scanner is there, you have to have the technology there so the screen doesn't go all the way to the edge. Now, if you're watching this video right now, you know that the Vivo Nex is probably the phone with the most screen to body ratio at 90% and change. I think that Huawei could have really taken it up a notch. Doo-doo-doo. See what I did there? And put it on the back. But that's nitpicking. That's completely nitpicking because it does its job. It does its job super well on the front. However, in my opinion, if you're gonna place it on the front, then why even bother with the notch per se? Whatever, let me know in the comment section below, guys, how you feel about this whole notch situation, because it can go either or. Some people don't mind it, most people hate it. I rarely find someone that says, oh, I kind of like that little thing on the front of the phone there on the screen that just doesn't do much, but it's there. So I'm in the camp of, like, I understand what phone manufacturers are trying to do, and I don't mind it for that reason. However, future evolutions, iterations of smartphones, they're going to have to do something about it because we can't just keep looking at it the way it is. So now that I've kind of went off about things that I like, let me touch up a little bit about battery life. In a previous video, I mentioned that it's got a 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside. Thank you, Huawei, for making this phone a 0.5 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters thicker. I don't notice. When I pick up my iPhone X, I don't notice which one's thicker. I'm sure one is thicker than the other, but to the naked eye and to the person who usually only has one phone, they're not gonna notice, oh my God, I have the fattest phone. This feels so outdated and antiquated. No, that doesn't happen. Phone manufacturers, that doesn't happen until battery life technology is so good that we can literally have a sheet of paper, and I don't think anybody wants that. Make the phones a little thicker, but make battery life your priority. No one complains about having too much battery life. It's just not a thing. This phone's battery life is so good that I have to emphasize it. It lasts all day. All day. If all I do is sit there and do stuff on my phone, it's going to push easily over 7 hours, maybe 8. If I use it in and out, if I take pictures, watch videos, make phone calls, and do a little bit of everything, it's going to last me over 6.5. And my favorite thing about it is that it charges so fast. And so far, out of all the phones that I've used, it comes down to the supercharging of Huawei and the dash charging of OnePlus. Either or I'm fine with. I think that Huawei's is faster. I think that's a luxury that if you've never used a phone that has it, I'm not talking quick charge. Quick charge is cute. Supercharge blows your mind. Supercharge is something else. You plug that bad boy in at 0%, you go use the bathroom and you come back and that thing's at least 20 or so%. So you don't know what you're missing out till you use it. And this phone in the battery life department, both in duration and endurance and in terms of charging, it's got you covered. Now, cameras. I'm not a huge nitpicker of cameras. All I know is that the Google Pixel 2 XL remains, in my opinion, the best camera out right now, front and rear facing, period. I just love the fact that I don't have to think about anything and I take a picture. If I want to think about how I want to take a picture, then I'm going to use something that I'm using right now to record this video, which is Sony a7 III. I'm going to use a DSLR, a mirrorless camera, so forth and so on. If I'm going to use the camera that I'm carrying in my pocket, I just wanted to take a great picture and I can turn off my phone and put it back into my pocket and not think about it. This phone right here takes really good pictures. In my opinion, the pictures are up there with the OnePluses, the iPhone X's, the Galaxy S9s, but in my opinion, it falls short of the Google Pixel 2 and 2 XL. Those phones and their processing capabilities just takes it to another level. Now, if you're the kind of person that does like to tinker with their pictures when they take it on a smartphone, then the P20 Pro is going to probably be the best phone for you. It's got a 3-camera setup, as you guys can see here in the top left-hand corner. It's actually got one module split 2 lenses, and then one right below it is that third lens. You've got 40 megapixels, I believe what it is on one. You've got like, I think, a monochrome. I mean, you've got everything you need to really tweak your pictures. Now, one thing that this phone does automatically for you that I love in terms of picture quality, especially with the rear-facing camera, is that it actually identifies what it is that you are focusing on taking a picture of. So if it's a cat, a dog, food, the sky, something like that, it's actually going to process, it's going to take a few seconds, it's going to show it underneath and adjust for that. If you love taking pictures of your food and posting it on Instagram, then this phone is going to literally make those colors vibrant and pop. Some people may love that, some people may not. However, I think for the average Joe, for the average consumer, for the average user, what this phone is going to do in terms of software capabilities and processing is going to be well appreciated because we don't have to think about it anymore. So cameras, overall, I'm going to say it's a solid camera setup that Huawei with P20 Pro, they've got going here. Now, what else are we missing here? Software. If you're new to Android, then all I gotta say is that the Huawei P20 Pro is probably gonna overwhelm you. If you're coming from an iPhone and you're going to Android and this is your first Android phone, you're either gonna love it or you hate it. If you hate it, you're probably gonna say it's because it's too busy and it's doing too much and you're a little too confused. However, if you're an Android user, if you're someone who's used multiple Android devices over the years and you love trying other phones and you're ready to try a different phone and be different, I think that what Huawei does with their phones in general is really good. I love their software. I actually really do like it. I'm not someone who loves stock Android. I actually like Android for the fact that Android brings customability and tweaks and skins and things, and each phone manufacturer changes what stock Android is. I like that. So this phone definitely does that. I mean, you have the ability to scroll screenshots like Samsung. You can smack your knuckle on the screen and actually start choosing and picking what part of the screen you want to screenshot, almost as if you had a stylus. You have just countless things like, I don't even know, like I know that if I do that, for example, then it suddenly goes into others you would enjoy it. So there's that. What else we've got here? Speakers, I said, are good. Battery life's good. Build quality's fantastic, phenomenal. I absolutely love the color choices that Huawei went with for the P20 Pro. I mean, it's just a beautiful slab of glass. This is the blue. Depending on how it hits the light, it changes and it looks good, and it's a beautiful phone. I absolutely love it. No complaints whatsoever. Now that we're talking about the thing that doesn't really bother me, but some of you guys may get upset about it. So wireless charging is not present on this phone, even though it has a glass back. So there's that. For those who like to wirelessly charge their phone, P20 Pro doesn't do it. I don't know why. I don't know the reason. If you know the reason, leave it in the comment section below so we all know, but it doesn't have it. Buttons are clicky. Buttons are designated, so you got the power button on the bottom, and then you've got the volume rockers on the top. I know a lot of us out there like clicky buttons. These are definitely clicky. I like them. That's all I have to say about the buttons. They're nice. No headphone jack on this phone. It does come with a little adapter if you want to go USB Type-C to headphone. At least they give it to us. Apple charges us for something like that. Little things. This phone comes with a built-in screen protector. So right here, guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of screwed up already on the phone. This is not the screen protector's fault. This is a Nando fault. I accidentally dropped some keys on the screen. It actually scratched the screen protector. I panicked and thought that it scratched underneath the screen protector, so I kind of peeled back to make sure. Was like, whew, screen protector did its job. But now obviously once you peel back, it's hard for it to regain that adhesiveness. But I absolutely love it. I'll say it at every video. The OnePluses of the world, the Huawei's of the world, the little things they give us when we buy their products make me feel good and make me feel special. It came with this plastic case. It came with a screen protector. You don't like the case, throw it away, burn it. I don't care. You don't like the screen protector, peel it off, get a tempered glass. I don't care. But the fact is, you don't have to go and spend money right off the bat to protect your phone, because they already provide us with the things to get us going. So thank you, Huawei, for that. Guys, I could ramble on for a little longer, but I'm not going to. If I miss something, let me know in the comment section below. Overall, this phone is solid 2 fingers, thumbs up, both hands, whatever you want to call it. I love the phone. I love the phone. I actually try to look for reasons to go back to the iPhone X or the Google Pixel 2 XL, and the only thing I can think of would be the camera for the Google Pixel 2 XL, and I'm not even touching my iPhone X. I'm actually going to be traveling here shortly, so this phone is going to definitely go with me. I love it. Let me know, guys, what you think of it, if you're considering it, if you hate it, why, one way or the other. And please hit that subscribe button like I asked at the beginning of the video. Check out the descriptions below for other videos and this phone on Amazon. Whew, that's a lot of stuff. All right. And like always, guys, stay geeky. I'll catch you in the next video. It was Nando. Peace, salute, and adios.